During a recent live stream, Islam Makhachev was asked what one thing he would change about the UFC, and without hesitation, he said it would be the pound-for-pound rankings. He expressed his belief that the current system doesn't truly reflect the skill, dominance, and consistency of certain fighters. Islam believes the rankings should better represent fighters who continuously prove themselves against top-level opponents, regardless of division. When asked to share his own version of the pound-for-pound list, Islam provided his personal top 5 rankings based on performance, skill, and dominance inside the octagon. He listed himself as number 1, confidently stating that his record and dominance across multiple weight classes speak for themselves. In second place, he named Alexander Pantoja, recognizing the flyweight champion's incredible streak and resilience. For the third spot, he chose Tom Aspinall, praising the interim heavyweight champion for his power, speed, and intelligence in the cage. At number 4, Islam placed Alexander Volkanovski, showing respect for the former featherweight king despite their competitive rivalry. Finally, rounding out his top 5, Islam included Ilia Topuria, a surprising addition given their ongoing feud, but a testament to his acknowledgement of talent and rising dominance. Islam's list sparked plenty of discussion among fans, as it significantly differed from the UFC's official rankings. His version highlighted active champions who continue to dominate in their divisions rather than relying on past accolades. Makhachev emphasized that true pound-for-pound status should come from consistency and the ability to adapt across styles and divisions, not just name recognition. His comments have since fueled debates across social media, with many agreeing that his top 5 represents the most informed fighters currently in the UFC. Meanwhile, the UFC has released an anti-piracy advertisement ahead of Makhachev's upcoming fight. Interestingly, the ad features Islam himself and is being aired exclusively in Russia. In the ad, a man is caught pirating a UFC event and ends up being sentenced to 2 or 3 years in Dagestan, serving as a warning about the consequences of illegal streaming. The campaign's timing has drawn attention, as the UFC continues to push for stronger measures to protect its broadcast rights worldwide. With Makhachev's growing influence both inside and outside the octagon, his opinions and involvement in such initiatives further solidify his standing as one of the most impactful fighters in the sport today. Khabib Nurmagomedov and Daniel Cormier recently had a lighthearted debate about what Khabib's final words were inside the octagon before his retirement. Daniel Cormier insisted that Khabib's last words were, "DC, I love you, brother," but Khabib humorously denied ever saying it. The exchange quickly turned into a playful argument as DC reminded him of that emotional moment following his final victory. In reality, DC was correct, as Khabib did, in fact, say those exact words after his final fight, right before leaving the octagon for the last time. During their conversation, Khabib shifted gears and began interviewing Daniel Cormier for his Telegram channel, asking him which year he considered the best in his fighting career. DC immediately responded with 2018, calling it his best year since he became the double champ by defeating Volkan Ozdemir, Stipe Miocic, and Derek Lewis, all within the same year. Khabib nodded and then pointed out that 2018 was also his best year, as he became the undisputed lightweight champion and defended his title in what he called the biggest fight in MMA history. The two then jokingly argued over who had the better year, with DC confidently claiming, "No, 2 belts. I was better." Khabib laughed and playfully disagreed, reminding DC that his title defense came with historic significance and massive attention from fans around the world. The conversation continued in good humor as DC brought up Khabib's retirement in Abu Dhabi, once again teasing him about his supposed final words. Khabib laughed and insisted that he never said, "DC, I love you, brother," swearing that DC must be mistaken. DC refused to back down, saying he was 1000% sure. Those were Khabib's last words inside the octagon. Khabib joked that he would have to go back and watch the footage to confirm it, while DC continued to tease him about it. Their banter showed the deep friendship and mutual respect between the two former champions. Both are legends in their own right, having shared years of training, cornering, and championship moments under the same team at the American Kickboxing Academy. The playful debate between them was not just a moment of nostalgia but also a reflection of their brotherhood, humor, and shared journey through the highest levels of mixed martial arts. Even in retirement, Khabib's charisma and DC's energy continue to entertain fans, proving that their connection extends far beyond their fighting careers. Dustin Poirier recently shared his thoughts on the upcoming fight between Islam Makhachev and Jack Della Maddalena, making his prediction for how the highly anticipated matchup could unfold. Speaking in an interview with Mike Bone, Poirier gave a balanced and respectful assessment of both fighters while making it clear that he favors Islam to come out on top. According to Poirier, Makhachev's well-rounded skill set, composed demeanor, and grappling dominance will likely lead him to another victory, most probably by decision. Poirier stated that his prediction would be Islam by decision, emphasizing that Makhachev's style is built to control the pace of the fight and neutralize his opponent's strengths. However, Poirier also made it clear that he wouldn't be completely shocked if Jack Della Maddalena found a way to land a big strike. He acknowledged that Jack has legitimate power in his hands and possesses the kind of striking precision that could cause real problems if he finds an opening. If Jack does win, I'm not going to be totally blown away if he lands a shot that hurts Islam or a knee or something, Poirier said, showing his awareness of how unpredictable MMA can be at the elite level. Still, the former interim lightweight champion was confident that Islam's overall skill and fight IQ would prevail. Poirier explained that if Della Maddalena were to win in another way, such as outpointing Islam over 5 rounds or submitting him, it would be far more surprising. In his words, obviously, if he beats Islam by decision or submits Islam, then I'm going to be blown away. But I got to go with Islam by decision. If I was betting on it, that's what I would bet on. His statement reflects not only his respect for Makhachev's dominance but also his understanding of how well Islam manages fights against high-level opposition. Poirier's comments add further weight to the widespread sentiment in the MMA community that Islam Makhachev is entering the fight as the favorite. Makhachev's grappling control, adaptability, and ability to shut down dangerous strikers have made him one of the most difficult puzzles to solve inside the octagon. Nonetheless, Poirier's recognition of Jack Della Maddalena's finishing ability also highlights that this matchup could still deliver unexpected moments of drama. Overall, Dustin Poirier's take reflects the perspective of an experienced veteran who knows what it takes to compete at the highest level and appreciates the strengths that both fighters bring to the cage. Sean O'Malley recently shared his thoughts on the ongoing UFC betting scandal involving fighter Isaac Dolgaren, expressing confusion and disbelief over the situation. During his podcast, O'Malley questioned the logic behind the unusual betting activity that surrounded Dolgaren's recent fight, particularly the large number of bets predicting that Dolgaren would be finished in the first round, a result that seemed extremely unlikely given his past performances. O'Malley pointed out that Dolgaren had never been finished in his professional career, which made the surge of betting on such a specific outcome appear highly suspicious. He elaborated by saying that it doesn't make sense for anyone to risk so much money on a fight that wasn't even part of the main card. According to Sean, it's possible that the situation involved financial incentives that may have influenced the fighter's performance. He speculated, in a hypothetical sense, about the type of offers that could tempt a lower-paid fighter, saying that if a competitor is only making around $20,000 to show and $20,000 to win, someone offering $100,000 or more to intentionally lose could easily sway them. Maybe this kid's making 20 and 20, O'Malley said. You go out there and win, you make 40,000. Or you have the mob, somebody, saying we'll give you 100,000, 150,000, 200,000, and they're going to make 5 million off it. He made it clear, however, that this was purely speculation and that he wasn't accusing Dolgaren directly, but rather highlighting how vulnerable some fighters might be due to the pay scale in the UFC. O'Malley also called out the people placing such obvious bets, labeling them as careless and short-sighted. He explained that betting huge sums of money on a first-round finish in a low-profile fight was reckless, especially given the lack of evidence to suggest that outcome. How stupid can people be, he said. It wasn't a hyped fight, I didn't even know the fight was happening, and people are putting millions of dollars on it. O'Malley concluded by addressing the broader implications of the scandal and expressed confidence that the truth will eventually come out, now that the FBI is reportedly investigating the case. He suggested that the situation might expose deeper issues in the sport and emphasized the importance of transparency and fairness in competition. Still, he admitted that there are many unknowns and that it's best to let the investigation play out. "I think we're going to find out a lot now that the FBI is actually investigating," O'Malley said. "But again, who knows what we're going to find out? I don't know." His comments reflect the uncertainty and concern that many fighters and fans share about the growing influence of betting and corruption risks in mixed martial arts today. Referee Herb Dean recently discussed the topic of eye pokes in mixed martial arts and shared his perspective on how certain fighters handle themselves in the octagon. Speaking about Sean Strickland, Dean made it clear that he has absolutely no concerns when it comes to Strickland committing eye pokes during his fights. He explained that despite Sean's often controversial reputation and his outspoken personality outside the cage, inside the octagon, Strickland is one of the most disciplined and technically aware fighters he has ever officiated. Dean elaborated by saying that when Sean Strickland fights, he doesn't have to worry about the kind of accidental fouls that have affected many other bouts. He noted that Strickland has a so-called bad boy image and isn't necessarily viewed as a role model in the traditional sense, but as a referee, he appreciates Sean's control, composure, and professionalism once the cage door closes. "When Sean Strickland fights, I know he has a bad boy image. I'm not trying to make him a teacher's pet, but man, he's my favorite," Dean said. His remarks highlight how some fighters, despite being known for their aggression or brash personalities, maintain remarkable discipline and respect for the rules during competition. Dean continued by describing how Strickland's defensive style and striking technique minimize the risk of dangerous fouls like eye pokes. According to him, when Strickland moves forward or engages in exchanges, he keeps his hands in a controlled, closed position and focuses on parrying and blocking effectively rather than extending his fingers toward his opponent's face. "When I see him come out there, he's doing this, he's parrying like that. I don't have to worry about the fingers," Dean explained. His comments underline the importance of proper technique and awareness, which can prevent unnecessary fouls and keep the fight safe for both competitors. The discussion also connects to recent debates about eye poke regulations and how fighters must adapt to stricter enforcement. While many athletes still struggle with keeping their hands in check during striking exchanges, Dean's praise of Strickland stands out as an example of a fighter who applies high-level technical control. For a referee like Herb Dean, who has overseen countless UFC fights, seeing a fighter who maintains aggression while staying clean and precise is something he deeply respects. His comments not only defend Strickland's fighting style but also reinforce the importance of discipline, awareness, and respect for safety in modern MMA competition.